Hello and welcome back to This or That, presented by Verizon with Kobe and Dash. We made it halfway through the split, my friend. Honestly, it just feels like time is flying by.
I can't believe it because, we're in February. We're halfway through the split. Nothing feels right, but everything feels good. You know what I mean? Like, it's different than it's ever been, and there's something that goes with that discomfort. But it's been a wild ride so far. The games this last weekend were fantastic to watch. Before we get into this or that, you know me, I got to be the one who hits you with the rules, hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the bell for the notification, do all of the things so that you can join us every week here on This or That. All right, with that business out of the way, let's get into the fun stuff. First slide up on the screen. Best 6-3 team is it 100 Thieves, TSM, or Dignitas?
Ooh. I like this one, especially because one of these teams just beat one of the other ones. Dig took down TSM in the very controversial, Reginald talking a lot about imports, and Dignitas with 5 NA players get the victory over them in a very timely manner. 100 Thieves, meanwhile, also started out a little bit stronger and kind of stumbling here in the last weekend. So it's actually coming at a really good time to get this slide and decide between these three, because you would not expect Dignitas to be up here with the other two. Yeah. And yet they're the ones with the most recent win.
They are the ones with the most recent win. But I got to be honest, my gut still tells me that they're the weakest of these three teams. There's something about that squad that tells me they've found some kind of magic right now.
You don't believe?
I'm not
James
sure. I'm not a
believe.
believer. I got to be honest, I'm not a believer. I'm not sure how long that magic lasts. Whereas TSM, a team that has shown such incredible growth in such a short period of time, right? So they didn't start hot, and yet they have gotten significantly better. I think that gives me the idea that they will become a better team. But to answer who is the best 6-3 team, I think you have to look at 100 Thieves. This is a team that I think does so many things well. And this is the team that I think is most capable of beating any other team in the league out of these three. I think 100 Thieves has the best chance of beating Cloud9. I think they have the best chance of beating TL on a good day right now. And so I think
You had me in the first half, James. You had me in the first half.
Ran you through the ringer,
really
my
thought
friend.
You were going TSM. I was all ready to come in and be like, well, I think it's 100 Thieves. But nice
got
little switcheroo. Curveball at the end there. Honestly, so the stumbles that we did see with 100 Thieves, to me, were the least concerning, because there was already inherent risk in some of the play style that they went with. They went with a lot of tower dives. This is a very proactive team. They're always looking for the next play. Damonte roaming very significantly, with Closer being a very aggressive jungler. I still think this team right now, if we ask, I think that they do edge them out as being the best 6-3 team at the moment, because their team play is so good together. But I think I am a little bit more hopeful for Dignitas than you are.
Oh, really?
Maybe I'm just riding high on the recent victories, Dardoch's giant champion pool, revival of Aphromoo once again.
So revival of Aphromoo, I think, is honestly one of the biggest plus points that you can give to Dignitas. Where I will admit I had zero expectations for this roster and him, even as an individual coming into the split, and boom, back on top, man. I don't know what hit him in the offseason that he decided this year he's going to start popping off again, but it's been cool.
It definitely started last year. Started last year for Aphromoo, and he was like, he was shutting up a lot of the haters. And then for him to continue this year, I feel like that just solidifies it, All right, next slide, though. We, in the end, are actually in agreement on 100 Thieves. Harder composition to play. Poke composition or 1-3-1. No-brainer for me is the 1-3-1. Poke composition, it does look like it crumbles really hard when you don't ward your flanks and you don't ban out really strong engaged champions and you get engaged on. But I feel like there are so many more nuances to 1-3-1. While as epically as a poke comp can fail when it does fail, I think it's narrower, the things that you have to guard against when you're playing a poke comp. You know what you need to do. You need to group up. You have to get your early leads so that you have momentum. You're sieging at these towers, being able to throw out your poke. watch out for the engages, ward your flanks. But for 1-3-1, there are so many different situations that come up with it because you have to manage minion waves so differently.
Okay, yeah, see, so I think the answer is different depending on the circumstance. In pro play, I would agree with you. 1-3-1 is way harder to play because coordination. Coordination
it's
is
solo queue to say peace. I'm out to my side lane.
Yeah, well, and I think the coordination of the team trying to defend against the 1-3-1, the chaos ensues, right? And nobody knows, oh, which lane am I supposed to match? And how do we actually engage on this 3? And there's a lot of getting pulled apart. But I think in pro play, when the defensive team is going to have some semblance of how to deal with a 1-3-1, it's a lot harder to execute. Whereas where poke is more difficult, or where poke is a lot easier.
Just hit your skill shots.
Yeah, just do that. Well, let me have my solo queue teammates just hit their skill shots, right? But that's the thing. I think in solo queue, poke is harder to play because it does rely on that, and it also relies on the entire team's coordination of disengaging and playing in a safe manner. One person goes down, your poke comp is destroyed, because the other team has as much permission as they need to keep rolling you over.
Every man for himself, James. You get caught, I'm leaving you behind.
Yeah,
okay?
I'm going, hey, 1-3-1.
I just have to be.
Our poke comp just turned into a 1-3-1 comp.
I was going to say, I just have to be faster than you. And I was like, dang, well, I'm not faster than him. So guess I'm also screwed.
In-game,
next
maybe.
slide.
Yeah, next one. More Untiltable Impact or Mount Everest is Impact. After that performance this weekend, how could you not say it's Impact? I'm sure you shout loud enough or something, you could start an avalanche on Mount Everest and make it look tiltable, but you can't tilt that man going 0-4 on Gnar and coming back.
You know how many people die on Mount Everest a year?
True.
More than Impact died in that single game. So I'm going to say Impact. Untiltable. As his interview afterwards was even more funny because he starts it off by apologizing,
right,
and being like, I was really inting up there, I've had to apologize to my team for giving up these kills. And I'm like, okay, yes, the first one, I was like, you probably could have played more defensively there, but once you have 4 people up in your lane, mid laners teleporting on you, everybody's ulting on you and stuff, you're just like, all right. And then to be able to win in the team fights, that was definitely huge for him. Love this slide, though. We agree. Impact it is.
Easy.
Next slide. What do we got? Better champ. Oh, just straight up. Who's the better champion? Gnar or only Mega Gnar? Never getting to go mini. This is an interesting one.
Yeah, this is really interesting because obviously there are times when you do want to be mini, especially in 1v1 scenarios, or like that 1-3-1 we're talking about. Hey, am I against somebody who's got a fair amount of health built into either their champion or their items? It's nice to have that % damage proc, on the mini Gnar itself. But ultimately,
I'm going Mega Gnar.
I was going to say, when it comes to pro play, I think we're on the same page because the only thing we ever analyze when watching a replay with Gnar, TP usage is, did he TP when he had his rage bar full, or did he TP as mini Gnar? And it's only ever effective when you're a Mega Gnar when it comes to the team fighting and actually winning the game, I think.
So what you are going to lose is a lot of different lane matchups where you're not going to be able to blind pick Gnar nearly as much. You're going to have to worry about a lot more range matchups where you actually need to use mini Gnar, back off, just spamming boomerangs and stuff like that. But if I know this going in, that I'm just going to be Mega Gnar only, and I pick into a melee matchup, that feels pretty good. I feel like they might have to adjust some of the cooldowns, though.
I was going to say, because Mega Gnar's actually got pretty good wave clear with both his W and his Q. He also has incredible health regen, because that's part of turning into Mega Gnar, is that his base health regen just goes up a whole bunch. So I actually think he'd even be decent in lane. It's definitely Mega Gnar. Definitely.
All right, next one.
Wow, we're 2 in sync, man. We got to start reading different articles or something. I don't know why we agree so often. First team All-Pro, Aphromoo, CoreJJ, or Huhi. Oh, lordy. Well, we were talking about Dignitas and Aphromoo being one of the sole reasons why they are a 6-3 team. And
I would say, okay, he definitely deserves to be on this slide in the convo.
But you don't think he gets the spot?
I'm not giving him the spot. I'm still going with CoreJJ. I'm holding strong on the old faithful here.
Okay.
MVP support player, all-star player. I think for sure for me it still is CoreJJ, but I love the fact that we can make a slide out of this, and it's actually a good decision here. Good choices. Been singing the praises of Huhi of being right under CoreJJ and Vulcan for quite a long time. And now, Vulcan doesn't even find himself on this slide, which is kind of crazy. He easily could be on here. This could be a 4-person slide, or the other thing.
And this is playing right into last year's meme of like, really? Vulcan's not? We're forgetting Vulcan again. The poor guy is just getting totally screwed over year after year. Here's my question to you. Was that a predictive thing, or you would still call him first All-Pro right now? Like, if the voting was today, would you vote for him, or you're predicting by the
I cast my vote for CoreJJ. Okay. If I do it right now, I'm casting it for CoreJJ. I do think this conversation is closer than it has been in years, for sure, especially with how much Huhi has been doing for 100 Thieves.
I'm going to go with Aphromoo then. If I'm voting right now, I'm actually going to go with Aphromoo. Partly because of what I was saying earlier about my expectation with Dignitas. I think Aphromoo's doing more with less. No offense, to the pieces around him. But Team Liquid bought literally the best players they could, and that I think in some essence does help CoreJJ. So for Aphromoo to have a better record halfway through the split, with I think less overall talent, individual talent on the roster, I think is something to be, to be lauded.
Fair enough. I like the argument. As far as being on the All-Pro team, though, benefits are you don't have to do more with less because you get to be full of all-stars.
That's true, right?
In every position, theoretically. So I'd love to see that one play out. This is a perfect opportunity, though, because we disagree.
Yes.
If you guys want to leave comments down to. If you want to write in Vulcan, that's fair as well. Or if you disagree and you want to go with one of the other options, let us know. We'll check in on it for next week. Next slide, though. Let's get to it. More anime end to spring. Would it be Dig winning it all? I think this story is already built up really well.
True.
A CLG miracle run is more unlikely and requires more writing to make it into an anime. This is like, all right, we already saw the first few episodes of this Dig anime. It's going great. We're like right in the middle of it, of the second arc already, where they take down TSM, the team full of imports, and we're going through the epic battle's about to come up. Meanwhile, CLG, we're still character building down here. Setting the tone with the underdog.
See, I was gonna say CLG. My gut was CLG, but you convinced me in that with the point about it would take too much writing, because it is. It's like, you know what? Now it's an unbelievable story. Right? And I realize that sometimes animes do unbelievable things, but you still want to see those moments of brilliance. Like if you think of like a classic show, Shojin or something, like you want to look at the protagonist and say, okay, we see that strength, or we see that speed, or we see whatever that thing is that they'll tap into in the final episode to ultimately prevel. We haven't really seen that from CLG.
We did have new characters arriving. For CLG.
Oh, good point. So it could, if it's on the Broxa train, right? Like maybe written from his perspective as the saving grace in this situation. I don't know. I do think I like the Dignitas story as well, because a piece of it is about a bunch of these players who have had chances in the past, right? And have been kind of their time has passed, is what is said. Dardoch's been given too many chances. Aphromoo's over the hill. Here's these young soul laners. Oh, they'll never make it. And boom, here they're showing up and they're starting to change people's minds.
Push beyond your limits.
Yes. Plus ultra. Okay, yeah, I'm with Dig. Dig wins it all. Let's go.
Next one, what do we got here?
Final
More
slide.
Egregious. Oh my goodness, waiting till 4 out of 15 to do your taxes. Excuse me, 4 out of 15.
The day.
I'm just reading as I go along. Obviously, that is tax day. Waiting till 41 minutes to pay Skarner taxes.
Well, I guess the more egregious thing is waiting till 41 minutes to pay your Skarner tax, because I don't get into trouble. Oh, wait, 414 is when taxes are due.
As long as you finish.
Wait, 415. Is 414 or 415 when taxes are due? Oh, I should know this.
I'm just assuming that's tax day. Wait, we got to look it up here.
Right, so if I'm doing my taxes on tax day, then that's fine. There's no punishment to that. But if you wait till 41 minutes to pay the Skarner tax, you could get taken advantage of. So I do think that's more egregious. Yeah.
We just need
God, when do we have to do our taxes,
that actually
Kobe?
tax day?
I think
I
think we need to. Do we have to do our taxes? What's going on?
we do. It's the same thing here. For the Skarner thing, though, Summoner's Rift tax day, if Skarner is your opponent, is probably like in the 20s. It's 20 something minutes.
But you're very late then at
is,
41.
So you're late.
Skarner's coming after. If Skarner is the IRS, he's knocking on your door at that point.
He definitely is, because he's going to collect your gold and give it to his teammates. All right, that's going to do a wrap for this one, I believe. All right, last slide. Thank you very much. Great job, I have to say. Let's all go finish up our taxes, I guess.
Right, yeah. Hey, don't wait till 4:15. Do it now. Then go play a game of League of Legends and buy a quick silver sash nice and early, okay? Boom. Easy peasy. And we'll see you this weekend for week 4 of the LCS.
Have you considered procrastination, though?
I live my life by the code of procrastination, for better or worse, my friend.